Welcome to ASOS, where we don't do any fucking singing or any shit like that, because that shit is whack.
All sorts of sports in your ass. All sorts of sports in your ass. In your ass. It's in your ass. It's sports in your ass. It's sports in your ass.
Man, you can't do that shit, bro.
You just heard from our Girls Gone Wild correspondent, Keem, and now I would like to hit and speak and get words from James. James, tell us how we did last week with our picks. I want to welcome all the viewers and let you know that we're doing shit differently. Today it's going to be poorly hosted by me, very poorly. But we're going to have James tell us right now how we did last week on picks.
All right. So last week,
episode 101.
Good shit, King. Episode 102, right?
101. God damn you.
Well, we were supposed to record yesterday. Whatever. My bad. My fault. My bad. All right. So, KDot, you got 5 right. So 5 out of 6. 5 out of 6 games you got right. I came second, 4 out of 6, and then Keem with 3, and then Ryan with 2.
I took some flyers. It wasn't smart.
Yeah. All right. So, is there any games y'all want to discuss before we discuss one of the other games that I'm going to talk about, no matter what?
I think if we talk about the new games, it'll wrap up everything we need to talk about with the old games.
Huh?
I think when we talk about the new games, it'll wrap up everything that we need to talk about when it comes to the old games. I just want to say for the record, if it wasn't for my internal rule of always Bill Belichick, because you remember we hedged our bets. It should have been a clean sweep because Buffalo was
it wasn't
clearly better than
New England
was going into that game. It wasn't. I got a weird. I'm either going to be a fucking genius this week or I'm coming in last place. I don't think there's any bones about it.
Hey, I can tell you what's probably going to happen. I got proof of what happens. It was last week.
Yeah. All right, so
I'll tell you how it goes.
All right, let's talk about the first game first. Raiders and Bengals. Bengals won. Looks like Ryan and KDot are the only ones that got that right. Me and Keem voted for the Raiders. Close game. Came down to the final play. Raiders should have won, but they didn't. A lot of the shit is self-inflicted, as like the whole season, basically. So, what? Why are you shaking your head when I said it's self-inflicted?
I'm saying the Raiders should have won is a stupid statement.
It's not.
It is
kind of, based off your logic, and I'm host, so I can interrupt. Yeah. Based off your logic, you just told him how he was saying like almost is you're doing the same thing.
But that's the thing is and that's fair. That's a fair point to make. Good job, host, holding me accountable. I like that. That's good job. But I'm just saying is that I looked at the way going into that game. The way that I said about the Raiders is they reminded me of the Washington team last year, right? And what do we remember about Washington team last year? They almost beat Tampa Bay. Shut up. They almost beat Tampa Bay. But the thing with that almost, right? Under no circumstances are any Washington fans saying, yo, we should have won that game. No, we had no business being in it. And I think that's the thing with the Raiders. I don't think they had any business being in it. If you look at the way in the playoffs, y'all were
how many fucking games did y'all win last year?
Jesus, 7, but we won the division, and then we won the playoffs.
10. Shut up. We won 10.
I did it. There's more games this year.
The division's ass.
Oh my God! See, this is what happens. This is what happens when Mike Mayock
come at me
when Lee Mayock
like, oh yeah, let me just argue with this motherfucker.
You guys
oh my God! Fuck you too, you punk ass motherfucker! Fuck you, fuck Lee Mayock, and suck my dick. This is what I'm saying. So when you're going around, you talking out your fucking ass about fucking, we should have won the game. We should have won the game. You're fucking getting. Shut the fuck up. You guys are missing everybody in your fucking coaching staff after next week. Because guess what Mark Davis decided he wants to do? He's gonna blow it out. You guys are
like fucking get rid of Dan Snyder.
You made the playoffs. You made the playoffs, and guess what? Guess what? Your owner wants to blow it up. Your owner wants to blow up your playoff team. You know why? Because it's not going in the right direction, fucktard. It's not going in the right direction.
Wait, who the fuck is your owner?
Dan Snyder, piece of shit. Terrible owner. Who gives a fuck? We're not talking about
shut the fuck
your
up.
Fucking Fox News Network. You fucking Tommy Loren wannabe in your whataboutism bullshit. Fuck you.
You guys were the last team in though, and I didn't think
we're not the last team in. We were the fucking 5th seed.
You were last seed, man.
Puta madre, man. God damn.
But you guys too many penalties.
Yeah, self-inflicted.
Too many mistakes.
How the fuck did we get to the 2-yard line and then had like 2 straight holding calls?
And
it makes no sense.
I'm not
Derek
disagreeing with that. It's the
I'm
statement.
not talking to you.
Fuck you. We should have won is fucking dumb. It's just stupid. You didn't win because of the penalties. You didn't win because of all these things. It's not a shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Game. I'm not talking to this fucker. What did I say? What did I say? Like, you're fucking stopping the pod just trying to fucking argue with me.
Fuck you. You're arguing with me.
Point, and then I'm moving on. Shut the fuck up.
And now to the next game.
Okay. Now here's where we have to host.
I didn't finish my shit about the Raiders. Like, goddamn. Give me your
thesis.
Nigga, fuck you.
All right, whatever. All right, so like I said, the penalties like fucking killed us. We don't have the weapons to fucking overcome some of this shit. I appreciate Derek Carr a lot more. I kind of want him to stay because what are we going to replace him with? We need a whole revamp, the whole O-line. We need fucking people in the secondary, but that is what it is. The refs are shit, not just for us, for every fucking game so far this year. Other than that, I'm rooting for Rich Bisaccia to get
those refs are not going to be available for any more games in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, they were terrible. They were terrible.
So just to clarify, James, you're okay with like continuing with Derek Carr, like middle of the pack quarterback? Like,
I don't think he's middle of the pack. He's just not elite. And
okay, all right, because I'm glad you said that because I would love to have this discussion with you because I don't think he's on this level. But let's go Joe Flacco. I don't think he's as good as Joe Flacco was. But let's go with Derek Carr, right? So if he's not middle of the pack, but he's not elite, to me he's got to be at least top 10 to be not middle of the pack. So
all right, let me ask you this question. So throughout this whole year, it's been discussions about like, is Derek Carr top 10? So for the fact that he's in the discussion, like that's good enough for me. You can win with that. Mm-hmm. You're looking at all the other shit that happened within the organization throughout the year.
Yeah, you guys,
like, come on.
You guys have, if you guys could pick up, if you guys could count on your running game, right? Because I don't know if you've seen this, but Alex Leatherwood is absolute dog shit. If you guys could count on your running game, if you could count on your running game to be a secondary for Carr, so that Carr didn't have to go and make the huge plays by himself all the time, you guys would be a playoff team, right? You guys have the components.
Well, they are.
Yeah, right. They are, but so, we also need an X receiver.
You need,
and whose fault is that? And whose fault is that you guys don't have one?
I had an answer, but I'm not gonna say it
because it's not his fault. So
nah.
But you guys have an elite tight end. You have an elite slot receiver.
We had a good receiver that was starting to come into his own, but then some shit happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, so.
And then we have one of the best slot receivers in the league right now. Like he's fucking uncoverable.
And you have one of the best tight ends.
We have a top 5 tight end.
Yes.
So,
and you need
we have certain weapons. We just don't have like a Devontae Adams.
And
we need a new offensive coordinator.
And a new O-line, because the thing about the new
everybody except Colton and James.
The new era of tight ends is they don't really block; they're just glorified. They're receivers, right? So if you don't have a blocking,
George Kittle or Mark Andrews,
unlike the new era of tight ends for the most part. And if you don't have an offensive line and you have a running back like Josh Jacobs, you're really not that scared, right, of the run game, which puts all the onus on Derek Carr to make these things happen going down the field. You have a 220-pound running back who's fast as shit and elusive.
Yeah.
If you guys can get like 3 linemen and just stack them all on the right side, just run that way every time, and you guys will be back in the playoffs next year. I don't think a blowing up and rebuilding is appropriate.
Oh no, I don't want that.
But if you guys lost Derek Carr and slotted in another quarterback, I think you're basically in the same position you were this year.
Nope.
Okay.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
All right. Number one, me and James had a full-blown conversation about this team like 2 days ago. Nothing I said is new. Number two, outside of all these things, the point that I was making is that even Josh Jacobs ran 13 for 83. Mm-hmm. Outside of the 35-yard, he still ran for 4+ per rush. The Raiders, if you look at the opponents that they had going up, like the same thing I broke down before last week, they beat scrubs to make it into the playoff. Other than the last game, which I give them full credit for winning against the Chargers. That was a hell of a game, best game of the entire season. I just rewatched it on Game Pass. But the Raiders compared to the Bengals and the way that they got there into that spot, the Bengals were clearly the better team. Right now with the Bengals, the only thing that they have going for them that I think is maybe a knock is how tired they fucking probably are after all these goddamn hard-fought games they've had to put. But beyond that, I just didn't think the Raiders were in the same class. If I was looking through the playoff teams, clearly to me, the worst one, other than maybe New England, was the Vegas, as far as just from a standpoint of what it is they did to get there. And everybody says it. The adversity they had to face throughout this entire season to even be in a position to make it to the playoffs is a hell of a fucking feat that I think Rich Bisaccia deserves the job alone based on that. You bring the dude back or you bring him under a David Culley deal, 2 years, we could can your ass after a year if it doesn't fucking work out. Like that to me is the winning. That to me is what the Raiders should do. Run it back, get some more talent. But I actually think with what they have to do with developing the offensive line, because that's a development job, I think. There is a chance. It's not crazy to think they're going to blow it up because I really don't know if where it is they can get to with Derek Carr at quarterback is enough to say that they're going to be in the conversation. And when you were asking about where Derek Carr is, I was just in another podcast before this and we were asking about Derek Carr being traded to Washington. I'd do it in a heartbeat because we don't have a quarterback. But Derek Carr to me is just under Kirk Cousins. I look at Derek Carr and Jimmy G in sort of the same realm. They've shown flashes of being awesome, but they're not the guy, right? And at least with Kirk Cousins, I can 100% say he's going to give me X amount of yards, X amount of touchdowns. Is he going to be there clutch in certain situations? Probably not. But if I can
some he might. You like that.
That's fair.
You like that.
Yeah,
right. Some. But that's the thing.
Not as many as you like, but some.
Right. But the fact that Kirk Cousins, you can pretty much like the same with Matt Ryan for so many years. You can just write, he's going to throw for 3,500 plus yards and more than 24 touchdowns. That anybody would accept that shit. Like that's a good thing to have. So if you're looking at mid-tier, they're the upper echelon of the mid-tier. The guys that are like, oh, I just want to see something else from you, or just do something to get away from the naysayers. And it's like, we're just waiting for it.
I think next year will be a good year for the Raiders if they do things right in the offseason.
I just hope they blow it up and we get the trade for Carr.
A productive 8-9 season next year. And then maybe make the playoffs the year after that. But the Chargers are going to get in the playoffs next year, and the Raiders aren't, in my opinion. I don't care what happens with them.
And if Russ goes to Denver, I got them in it.
Well, Russ,
Kansas City's not going anywhere.
I still need to see Russ start throwing again. He's got an off season, but
if Aaron Rodgers goes to Denver, that'll shut that down.
It's fucking like that, right? It's just like
that is honestly, that is one of the things. I fear that. For me, I'll say my piece. Every team has their Super Bowl, and their Super Bowl is a different level than what the actual Super Bowl. Just getting to the playoffs to me was the Raiders Super Bowl. Like they shouldn't have made it after all the turmoil and all that shit that happened, whatever. And like getting to the playoffs in the fashion that they did was their Super Bowl for them this season. It's a more productive season than they thought.
Right. Just like the Bengals Super Bowl was them winning a playoff game in like 32 seasons because the Titans are about to beat that ass this year. This weekend. And so like that was their Super Bowl. So it's different. It's different for each team. And so I think the Raiders had a good season, and I don't know what they're going to do. Hopefully they get a GM who won't pick a speedy receiver over a legendary one in the next following draft.
That's why I think the Washington, nobody wants to be compared to Washington. Trust me, I get it. But the idea that what I'm saying as far as this Raiders team is a la what Washington did, if you look at what they did scheduling after Washington beat them and then Kansas City whooped that fucking ass, they then went Cleveland Browns, fucking shitty situation at quarterback, Denver Broncos, Indianapolis Colts, just fucking what? And then with Carson Wentz coming back off the COVID short week, like you look and you're just like, Max Crosby got to beat up a bunch of motherfuckers and they got themselves in the playoffs. And I'm like, that is one of those things that the weeks can shake out and you end up a little bit better than what you actually are talent-wise. It happens. But I will say that them rallying and getting that Chargers game, you're right. That's a fucking basically a Super Bowl level, not quite, but a really, really big victory. And it comes to everything that they had to face adversity-wise. Washington, we faced adversity, we crumbled like a motherfucker. Vegas rallied, and that shows that among anything, they might not be the most talented team, but the motherfuckers have heart. And they might not be the best coach, but they do have heart.
The immortal bard Meek Mill once said, "There's levels to this shit." And that remains true now.
So we all bring up the people that the Raiders beat to get to the playoffs and all the issues that they had at the time we played them. I have yet to hear anybody say about the issues that the Raiders played when other teams beat them. And it's kind of like, all right, we shit on the opponents we played.
We covered that.
We said that.
But listen to what I'm saying. Like, we lost a lot of fucking pieces. So like we don't have as much talent as
that's what he said.
Everybody else. But at the same time, everybody fucking stepped up. And I still think that we should have won that fucking game. Everybody else still thinks that they should have won the fucking game, but self-inflicted, especially on the offensive line. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, you're just recap what KDot just said, but we'll move on.
And I'm the argumentative one. Just fucking
it's fine. We'll move on.
All right. I hope the Raiders get the Colts assistant GM Ed Dodds, and I hope Rich Bisaccia is still the head coach.
I hope the Eagles get 100 picks.
We'll see what happens
from that Wentz trade.
Right. So let's move on. I did kind of want to talk about that Cowboys game. It's near and dear to a couple of you guys' hearts because you hate the Cowboys, and so I wanted to give you that platform to talk about it. But I just wanted to say I did pick the Cowboys, and they didn't do well. That Kellen Moore guy is getting a lot of looks for being a genius offensive coordinator. And who was it that came out on Manning's show on Monday night and said I forget what it was, like somebody came out and said like there's no way. Oh yeah, Troy Aikman said like there's no way we wouldn't have like CeeDee Lamb wouldn't have had 10 catches in the first half the way they were playing him. And I was like, yeah.
He was single covered. They were single covering one of the most dynamic receivers in the league. Like CeeDee Lamb could catch something 8 feet above any defender's head. Like Zeke had like 8 yards. Like, also, how disrespectful is it that the Packers didn't even plan on playing the Cowboys? They're already planning on playing the Niners. The head coach was like, yeah, we didn't even game plan before that game. We didn't even game plan for the Cowboys. And I was like, oh.
I used to defend Mike McCarthy. You can't. Like, no. you can't. Like, there's no way to. It's just that was terrible coaching. Through and through. That was just bad.
Terrible coaching.
It was terrible coaching.
You ever see we talk about it all the time. Where like, and this happens at all levels of every profession, right? Where you just have like yes men who are like sitting around. They're like, yeah, that this is the right call. And everyone else like, yeah, this is the right call. And even after it's not the right call, everyone's like, this is the right call, coach. And everybody else is sitting around the outside and we're like, no, that was a very wrong call. And I think Mike McCarthy, he had his one like shining moment and he had, look, that Packers team was very good. I don't think anybody can say that it wasn't. And he has another very good team now. And it's not Mike McCarthy, right? It's not his genius. Like if he stumbles his way to a Super Bowl and with the Cowboys, nobody here would be shocked, but it's not going to be because of him, right? It's going to be because that team is good.
I think that's the point is the Cowboys this year have floated on insane physical ability and talent. Not anything to do with steam. That's the CeeDee Lamb's a freak. Amari Cooper is a freak when he wants to be. Dak Prescott can throw a ball anywhere on the fucking field if you give him time to do it. And powerful as shit in the pocket. Zeke is broken. I've been yelling that the whole season.
He's just not good.
Why the fuck if you're Dallas, aren't you giving Tony Pollard the ball? That alone to me is one of those things that, like, I don't know. I'm seeing the most dynamic player with the ball in his hand. Make shit happen on kickoffs, punt, anything. Put the ball in your playmaker's hands if you can't scheme them out of shit. That's the point. Is like, if you can't scheme something, just get the ball in a playmaker's hands to make something happen. And remember, they can't get out of their own way because they think it's their level of genius, right? But I do not want to take away from what San Francisco did, which they did play stout defense against the run. And a lot of what Dallas does is getting and establishing some form of run game and then just going over the top. But when you see Dallas is like, yeah, we're abandoning the run game, and I think partially it's because of how stout San Francisco is. They're very one-dimensional, and you can figure out, all right, this is what we're going to do. We don't need to worry about stuff in the box anymore. Rush with your front four, blitz sometimes, and just play the backfield. And you can get that done. Because once again, from a scheming standpoint, they're not out scheming anybody. And Matt LaFleur and his success in Green Bay and that fucking insane start that he's had, what his record's like the best in the history of the NFL, like, you can see Mike McCarthy might have, what a lot of Packers fans were saying, and I wasn't trying to listen to, was holding that team back.
And he was. And did you guys, before you go, Ryan, I just want to say, did you guys see the comment? It was popular on Twitter where, like, Mike McCarthy was like, I could tell my team wasn't ready to play, like, in prayer.
Oh, they were nervous in prayer.
I was like, what the
fuck?
Whose fault is that, bro? Whose fault is that?
The fact that even Dak felt okay to say what he did about the refs after the fucking game, that to me is just you never prepared him at all for that situation. And that is a situation that every quarterback should know what the fuck they're doing. If you're a properly prepared quarterback, why don't you understand what to do in that scenario? And every quarterback afterwards said the same thing. Yeah, man, if you got 18 seconds left, or this is the cutoff. And as soon as you get there, you know you have to get the ball to the ump. Dak did everything wrong.
Even Steve Young's old ass was like, yeah, I saw that was not the right thing to do, and I didn't even run the ball a lot. No, but I think I went back and rewatched parts of that game, and I think the turning moment for that game was right off the jump. Once San Francisco came down and punched Dallas square in their fucking face, they were like, well, we got to abandon the run. It's over. It's over. We got to throw the ball. And then we'll hand it to Zeke straight up the middle for a yard or two. And Tony Pollard can't come in because we got to feed Zeke. And then they went down 2 scores, and they were like, I mean, everybody could see what was happening, right? They just didn't have an answer to San Francisco's defense is good. Don't get me wrong. But I've watched Dak put up 500 yards and Zeke put up 150 on the ground against similar defenses. They just came out there like, we're going to win. And once they got punched in the mouth, it's almost like they planned for next week already, right?
Yeah, they probably did. And
that's probably why they were nervous in prayer. Who's ever nervous while praying? That shit.
You?
No.
You talking about you want to go to that fucking Baptist church? You should be.
Bro, why would I be nervous there? You see how fucking uplifting those people are? Man, I would turn to my neighbor and hug him. I swear to God.
And to add about Dallas, they went 6-0 against the NFC East and 6-5 against the rest of the league. So I think that was a sign that we should have.
You remember I went through the fucking schedule before we get into the game, right? Like, I didn't do it for the sake of just doing it. The other thing with San Francisco, we'll get into, Deebo Samuel is a fucking problem. He's a problem.
Oh, Deebo. I'm going to try to get him in Dynasty next year.
I do want to say, though, Deebo he's a problem, but if you game plan for Deebo, San Francisco's in trouble.
No, I think that's wrong. I think you game plan
for
Kittle. You don't game plan for Deebo.
Right. But
Kittle is the game breaker. Deebo is going to do his thing, but Kittle is the game breaker.
I can't wait to talk about this Packers game.
So, well, I won't. We got to handle Cincinnati and Tennessee first. So let's go ahead.
Wait. I just want to say something real quick.
Okay.
In the history of the National Football League,
God.
It has never happened that one team has received the ball on offense 7 times and they haven't punted, turned the ball over, or kicked a field goal. They simply went down and smacked the opponent in the face with 7 points every time, including throwing to a lineman. They threw a touchdown to a tackle. How disrespectful is that? Go Bills.
Josh Allen is anointed. I'm sorry.
Yo, did you see him shake the dude out of his shoes?
He's expanded to another plane of existence. I'm sorry. Look, the Patriots fucking suck balls. I picked them
away, and Devin Knox caught that shit.
The Patriots suck dick, but the team's just terrible. Bill Belichick's still Bill Belichick. The fact that Josh Allen went down to Bill Belichick and basically knocked him out, like straight up, just like walked up on a step. Hey, you Bill? Yeah. Boom. It's just, I'm sorry. I've never seen it. Never seen it.
Shout out to the coaching staff because they were like, oh, we're up 35. No, we're going to keep scoring.
I felt like Bill Parcells would have just showed up and bitch slapped Bill Belichick for making them look bad, like the coach in the street. Like, well, you let Buffalo do that to us?
Dude, and you see them punt in the fourth? Anyway, it was a good game.
It was insane.
Well, shout out to the Bills. They did great. They did it great. They killed the Patriots. And you know who else came victorious? The Bengals against the Silver and Black. But they will be heading to Tennessee, to Nashville, Tennessee, and playing the Titans this week. And let's make some picks.
That's really cheap.
Bengals and Titans. I have the Titans. Ryan has the Bengals. Who y'all got?
Titans.
Derrick Henry has returned. He's returned.
I can see the Bengals winning, but I'm believing that Derrick Henry in game control, run game, and that Julio Jones will catch another touchdown, his second touchdown for the Titans in the postseason.
Yo, hey, I was so mad because I had Julio on and off my. I was like, this has got to be the week. This has got to be the week, and it was never the goddamn week. Piece of shit. But I'm happy for him. I think if he's fully healthy next year.
Yeah, he'll get you 50 catches and 800 yards.
But if Derrick Henry and if they're all healthy, that whole receiving corps and Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill could literally turn into a yam and like not throw more than 10 yards and they'd still win every week.
It might be a little more than that from him. Like the only thing I would say that the reason I'm picking Tennessee, I want the Bengals to win this game. I just love seeing Joe Burrow and that Cincinnati just fucking go at it. I just don't think it's possible. And the reason I don't think it's possible, Cincinnati has been fighting their asses off for a while. Like there's no, like they didn't have like this cupcake game here. It's just like, yeah, we just cruised on that. Or they didn't have it. They've been fighting their asses off. Joe Burrow has a shit offensive line. He's been getting hit like fucking crazy. There's a certain point in time where it's like, all right, guys, you did good. Let's like Rocky. They're the Rocky of football teams right now, okay? And fucking Ivan Drago is staring them down and Derrick Henry. And I'm sorry, the Cincinnati's defense overall is not necessarily known for their size. They're more of a speedster sort of defense. And if I'm looking at that in cold weather, which Tennessee, it'll probably be cold. You got Derrick Henry, 500 pounds, can run fucking 3.5. No one wants that. You don't want to do that. Like,
how healthy is he though?
So they went from the Cleveland Browns game to 6 days later they played the Raiders, and now they've got to play Tennessee. I just think there comes a point in time where like they're riding the high of last week, and props to Cincinnati. Those fans are loyal as shit. I don't understand how anybody can even live in that city for as long as they have. But I just think Derrick Henry he demoralizes you. It's a demoralizing guy to come up against. And if you're staring like the third quarter, it's a close game. You've been doing everything right. And then that one play that he just stiff arms the one guy. And then the second level, the defensive backs is like, oh no, I got to tackle this dude. And it's just, you don't want to deal with that. And the dude is, you know what he is? Fresh. He's fucking fresh. He's got nowhere.
Just coming off an injury. Did you see the glasses that Joe Burrow was wearing at his press conference?
Coolest motherfucker in the league.
Joe Burrow has already seen the result of the Tennessee game, and he's not concerned.
All right, James, why are you picking Titans?
Derrick Henry. That's all.
I mean, that would be my only reason for not picking the Bengals is Derrick Henry.
Also, the D-line for the Bengals are still a little bit injured. They're coming back off of injury. I think Hendrickson is coming back from a concussion. But yeah, we were able to run the ball on them like fairly easy, considering our offensive line. I think Titans will be able to do better. But yeah, I think that they'll win.
The thing is, like, it's going to come down to who has the ball last. I think that the Titans are going to try and control the clock, but Joe Burrow can go down and score on you in fucking 3 minutes. So if it's a close game, overtime field goal.
One of the chess matches that I'm kind of interested to see is the Kevin Byard, him at safety versus Jamar Chase. Like, can you gonna go deep with Kevin back there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to see how they play that.
We forget about T. Higgins and Ushmoa, like, dynamic, both of them.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm just interested to see if they're gonna try and attack the Titans deep with that safety play that they got. They've had some good corner play this year too. So I think it'll be an interesting chess match. But we don't have to stay here. So let's go on to the game.
One last thing about Tennessee.
Yeah.
Tennessee's defense can get thrown on like shit. Like they're 25th ranked, but I think what's interesting is they're 25th in yards, 7th in points. And the thing with the discrepancy there, you can see what it is they do on defense. They have a good run defense, and in the red zone, they get stout. And that's what I think is what we're looking at when it comes to this team, is that if they play the time possession game, which is what they're going to do with Derrick Henry, and just limit the opportunities for Joe and play stout at the end zone, if Cincinnati's not in the end zone every fucking time, I don't think they have a shot.
They struggle with that against the league's red zone scoring team. So
yeah, I agree with that.
Game, 49ers and Packers. Ryan and I both have the Packers. What say you guys?
I'm going with Green Bay.
49ers. This is the game that I've probably been looking forward to more than any other matchup in the playoffs. And the reason being is that I think that San Francisco is pretty much every team's nightmare. From a standpoint of like what it is they do really well, run the football and play stout defense. Now, this all comes down to Nick Bosa and Fred Warner. I think they can still win with one of those two guys. If both of them are gone, yeah, it's going to be a Green Bay win, but I'm going to stick with the pick. It's just, look, Deebo Samuel does one thing as far as, I don't even know how to first attack this shit. All right, number one, Aaron Rodgers has not beat San Francisco in the playoffs. Hasn't. Outside of those things, and I still think it's just because in his head, the Alex Smith thing just still fucks with him. But I think there's a little part of that. It's just, you can't.
I own you.
Right? But it's like, but not him, not the organization, right? But I mean, if you're going to ask anybody, how do you beat Green Bay? You basically drop San Francisco's game plan. Like, how do you attack Green Bay and have a success rate? Run the ball, keep the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands, play style defense. They do those things. And Nick Bosa can get to Aaron. And that's one thing that I think is a huge thing. If Nick Bosa can play and get to Aaron and knock him off a couple times, and they do what they do on offense. And I also think San Francisco's, everybody talks about Green Bay's defense, which I get they've been performing fairly well overall as far as statistics and everything. But if you look down the stretch, at least since their bye week, Chicago, rookie quarterback. Baltimore Ravens didn't have Lamar. Cleveland Browns, the ghost of Baker. Minnesota Vikings, that was the Sean Mannion game. Anybody know about Sean Mannion? And then they lost to Detroit, even though they were resting the starters. It's still a loss against Detroit, which doesn't look good to anybody. There's just a matter of the swag that San Francisco has, the fact that they want to punch you in the mouth is I just think they match up really, really well. And the thing also with Green Bay is that Green Bay is a fairly traditional defense. San Francisco's offense is not traditional. Who do you line up against Deebo? Where he doesn't line up at the same place any 2 plays in a row. Then beyond Deebo, who could take it out of the backfield or anywhere else, Elijah Mitchell is the most underrated running back in the National Football League.
Round draft pick?
6th round, yeah. The motherfucker's been balling. Now, once again, I don't know if it's because of Kyle doing what his dad did, which is turn any no-name running back into a big.
That's what I was like. He does. It literally does not matter who plays.
Tatum, Bell, C.J. Anderson, fucking name your pick, right?
If they bring AP out of retirement next year, he'll run for
1,000 yards, right? Which is in what I think. Was that Gruden or Chant? No, I think it was Gruden. The last time AP ran for 1,000 for Washington, but it was different. I just think San Francisco right now is just good. They're scarily kind of good. I get Jimmy G. I'm not saying it's not a Jimmy G's beating Aaron Rodgers. It's the run game and defense can beat the Green Bay Packers.
Here's what's going to beat
I can see it.
The 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo had the blessing of not making – he made one mistake really last game. One mistake. He threw that interception, and that almost turned the game, right? If that gets returned for a touchdown, completely new ball game. Here's the thing. Instead of going up against Michael McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers is going to game manage and beat the brakes off the Niners if they give him the opportunity. Any mistakes that they make, I think are going to be capitalized on. And I think because there was so few last week, like returning to the mean here, Jimmy G's not a good quarterback. He threw for 120 yards, no touchdowns last game, and one pick. The thing is, if he can keep the ball in his hands and not give it away, the 49ers have a chance. If turnovers, like even one, really, I think it's going to be really tough for the Niners to win.
All right, so let me add my 2 piece in. So Jimmy Garoppolo has only had 68 career starts. None of them have been in freezing. Not even like anything below 40 degrees. It's going to be 13 degrees on Sunday whenever they play. Oh, it is for him. So yeah, there's no way in hell because it's Jimmy G. He's going to fuck it up. He can't even throw the ball really in that weather. I haven't seen it. He got to show me.
Okay. I think that's a fair point, James. I would like to say, do you guys think that they need to throw the ball well to beat Green Bay?
Yep.
I picked Green Bay for a reason, but I think KDot made great points. I think you guys made great points too.
Yeah,
but
you talked for like 5 minutes.
To throw the ball well.
James is very bitter at me.
No. But when
you see your whole fucking demeanor's off since earlier.
When he does have, he needs to protect, and that's what I'm worried about. Right?
Yeah.
So
okay.
35 times and they throw 15. If one of those is an interception, he has put his team in a much worse position, right? And he has the ability. In fact, he has the knack for throwing an interception in one of those 15 passes. And if he does that, they're in real trouble. Because then if you're not worried about him throwing, right, you're just worried about Deebo Samuel and Mitchell. Like,
get two quick hits because I know I can talk too much. The number one,
no, you
fuck
do.
you. Kyle Shanahan is going to have something personal in knowing, hey, Matt LaFleur, you're with my fucking flunky in Washington. You're not beating me. I think that is something to look out for. And when you light a fire under Kyle Shanahan, I think he could scheme something. Number two, Green Bay's defense is getting a lot of guys back that they haven't had, including Jair Alexander. And I'm sorry, when you have a defense that's been working really, really well within the schemes that they have and the players they do, and you introduce these guys that haven't played since week 4 back into the mix, usually there might be a bit of a learning curve in order for everybody to gel in the defense, especially in the secondary again. All the positions have to play together. And if they've been playing solid defense with a particular personnel scheme for 13 weeks, and now there's new blood again, that to me usually takes a little bit of time to get to that point again. So what I'm saying is that Jimmy G doesn't have to be perfect, but I don't think the Green Bay secondary will be either.
I didn't know they were rookies. Like, they're professionals, bro. Like, I didn't know they're changing scheme either.
You're telling me there's depth now?
It's more of a chemistry thing.
It's a chemistry thing.
It's a chemistry thing.
But unlike Michael McCarthy, I believe if the Green Bay Packers see that there's something going wrong, they'll make some adjustments mid-game.
I have now. It just the way that I'm like all alone on this. Keem just make me feel a little bit better about this pick because it feels like Green Bay's about to stop the shit out of them.
No,
like,
I do. No, I'm with you. I think you made good points. I think it'll be a close game. I think that San Francisco for sure could win this game. I just believe more in Aaron Rodgers than I do in Jimmy G. It really that's what it comes down to. Am I going to pick Jimmy G? No, I'm not.
Right. That's fair. Like I want to pick Aaron. Aaron Rodgers is clearly the best player on the field, either team. Bar none, it's not close.
If they line Devontae Adams up in the backfield, it's over.
But I will say,
look at Aaron Rodgers' entire career. He loves to lose in the NFC Championship game. Like he loves it. Like he loves to get his one win and one and done. He likes to do his one and done.
You know why?
Like, the championship game, so you gotta win this one to get to the next.
He got to make it to the championship game.
That paycheck
lose. He needs to go to lose.
Yes.
I will also, Ryan, you've seen the line is closing as we get closer to the game. I think Vegas is seeing something too.
What they're seeing is a mistake, and I will capitalize on said mistake.
Oh, Vegas makes mistakes. Okay.
Oh man, Vegas makes a lot of mistakes.
I'm just saying the line is close. For what it looks like on paper, that line is so close. I'm telling you, man, this is a much closer matchup. What Aaron's going to throw 7 touchdowns too. This is going to be a motherfucker. Aaron's going to fuck
13 degrees
in Caribbean seas.
13.
Right. Hey man.
Wait. I have a question for everybody. I have a question. No. He may not care, but we talk about Jimmy G here, who has to give him the ball. Receivers are a dependent position. Like it don't. Like, you can win every fucking route, but if you don't get the ball, it don't mean shit.
That's very true.
You still end up with 0 catches.
Very true. Very true.
Did Kittle go to tight end U?
He started it.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I don't know if he started it.
It don't matter. Did Jimmy G create QBU? No.
It's cold there.
I will say, Jimmy Garoppolo played high school in Illinois. It does get cold there. He's not completely unused to it.
One thing I will add is Jimmy G, along with Lamar, and Aaron and Pat Mahomes has one of the best win percentages in the last few years. Like he just hasn't been playing a lot. I just want to add that wrinkle in there. Again, I picked the Packers. I just want to add that wrinkle.
Everything in there. Over 40 degrees.
No, you better iron your opinion, man. It's wrinkle.
All right, no. Let me go back to my question. Like everybody here has played football before, right? Like,
yeah, like
organized. All right,
yeah.
Everybody's played in the cold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You seen people like tense up when it gets cold, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
These are million dollar professionals.
I don't think they're asking Jimmy G to throw 40 times.
No, they'll ask him to throw.
He played in New England, bro.
He's just got to protect.
That's the other thing. And look, Belichick was ready to get rid of fucking Tom's ass for him. I'm just saying there's something there to Jimmy. And not to mention the San Francisco 49ers players love him, which is why I'm not so quick to think that he won't be on that team.
It's because of the porn stars. But let's move on.
Is Trey Lance available?
No, Trey Lance is a long-term project quarterback. Everyone in the front office said the same thing about him. They were like, he's not going to start. We're not moving for Jimmy. I believe them.
I'm saying they can scheme him in and really fuck up the Packers defense.
And that's a Shanahan move. Like, hold on to this card.
They didn't do it in
nobody's
all
seen,
last game.
right?
What if he went like Nick Saban and at like halftime, he's like, here you go, Trey, go get him.
And then he has a Colin Kaepernick fucking rushing performance.
Or if it's like, we said he's a long-term project, but we saved him for this moment.
Yeah, exactly. Like
this was
the long term.
Yeah.
But I'm saying to Colin Kaepernick it. Right? Like, how many rushing yards did Kaepernick have in that game against Green Bay that year? You know, like, I'm saying that, like,
isn't that the game he threw for 200 plus and ran for 200 against Green Bay? Wasn't it against Green Bay?
In Lambeau.
Yeah.
But Mike McCarthy. Let's not
doesn't coach
forget.
defense. Doesn't coach defense.
Forget.
All right, guys.
All right, next game. Rams and Bucks. I have the Rams. Ryan has the Bucks. Who y'all got?
Bucks, Tom Brady. I don't pick against him.
Okay. So I really, 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 really believe like it could be a rematch of last year. But something in my heart is telling me that Matthew Stafford won't throw a pick six in this game. And they can win it.
They won earlier this year in a game where Bucks are going to win by 20, and they lost by 20.
But the thing with the Bucs is they didn't look good last week. Like, they didn't look good.
Wait,
they
who you
did
got?
They did not look good, bro. Like if you watch them play, they looked they're missing Antonio, they're missing Godwin. Bro, I don't think
I'm putting you down for the Rams.
Let me finish, James.
You're so fucking rude.
It's not
James.
Saturday yet. It's
Look,
not.
man,
Saturday.
I'm trying to put the damn pin down. Tell me who you picking.
We got one game to pick. You gotta hold that shit.
No.
So I really believe
the Bucs are gonna win.
The Bucs are gonna win the game, but I'm picking the Rams.
All right, fam. Don't pull no damn.
You pulling the KDot. Hedge your bets.
No. Really. I think usually in these kind of situations, it's kind of one of the reasons that I picked. What was it? It's one of the reasons that I'm going to pick the Chiefs to beat the Bills, because usually what happens if you play a team in the regular season once, you beat them. Usually they flip it in the postseason. Usually, and that's why I was like, okay, I can go with the Bucs. But they just didn't look good to me. They don't look like they're ready to win a championship. But it's fucking Tom Brady, so I could see him doing it. But I'm going to pick the Rams.
Did you think Tom didn't look good? Because I thought Tom looked amazing.
No, Tom looked fine. Everybody else looked bad.
Yeah, the run game, they kept with it, which is what I was proud of, that they didn't run away from it. But I just thought that sticking with it, like the Rams looked great last week. There's nobody can take anything away from the Rams. And Matt Stafford played lights out, everything. Let me just remind you, Arizona was dog shit. So the thing about the Arizona Cliff Kingsbury, like we said at the beginning of the season, I know that I don't know if I went hard in the paint about Cliff. You guys said I did. I didn't think I was that mean about it. But the Cliff, he's on the hot seat again after this last game. But if you look at like on offense, Kyler Murray not having DeAndre Hopkins playing his first playoff game looked like absolute dog shit. And that defense just couldn't really get things going or moving in the right direction. And not to mention that defense is just Buda Baker going out early with the injury, and what it is that happened on they just didn't look. Arizona just didn't look like they belonged to be there. And I think DeAndre Hopkins being there maybe changed the story a little bit. But I just think it was this case with LA kind of running up the score. When it came to an Arizona team that just was not built or ready, Colin Murray came apart. And it happens a lot in your first 2 or 3 playoff games. But if it's not for those Colin Murray turnovers, does that LA win looked at huge? Do they score that many points? I don't think so. I just don't. The revelation to me was Cam Akers, though, coming back and actually looking damn good.
They were running over them.
Cam Akers looked good.
And to your point, just want to counter your point, not counter, but like introduce just a different perspective. Like the Cardinals didn't do well on offense. Obviously, Hopkins wasn't there, but they still have a good defense. And that defense didn't look good against the Rams at all. It didn't. They got killed.
And they barely used Cooper Kupp.
Yes, and they got killed.
But I don't want us to lose sight of like what the stats actually were, because I think a lot of the turnovers are what played into the final score. Cam Akers had a great game. His final yard total was 55 yards. Sony Michel had a great game. His final yard total was 58 yards. It wasn't like they ran 200 yards on these dudes. It wasn't like one of those sort of games. Matt Stafford, the biggest thing with him was just not turning the ball over and playing within the scheme and not trying to do too much, which has always been an issue when it comes to Matt Stafford. Is like, hey, just calm the fuck down. Yeah, but rely. He's shell-shocked from Detroit.
You go up 21-0. You game plan for, hey, we're just going to run the ball a couple times.
Yep.
Let's see what happens.
Split the carries between the running backs.
Let's see what happens when they go down 14.
You add it up, it's over 100 yards.
I get that it's over. Of course, it's over 100. I can do
yeah, but they're not playing. Mm-hmm. They're not playing a Kyler Murray. They're playing I believe his name is Thomas Brady.
Yeah, that's why I got the Bucs. I just think that I think the Bucs are a much better team, and I understand what you're saying, Keem. As far as especially against Philly, they didn't. I wanted to see more. Like I wanted it to be a drubbing, right?
They didn't look like they overpowered Philly to be the weak team that Philly is.
Shout out to Ryan Kerrigan for getting a sack and a half, though.
All right, let's move on to the most important game.
But we were forgetting like one major part though. Like Tom Brady has to deal with Aaron Donald and Von Miller. And he's a fucking statue back there compared to Kyler Murray. So,
yes, just Screen passes.
Okay. To who?
Gronk. He'll run for 40 every time.
Okay.
Gronk's
Gronk can run for 40 yards every time.
We forget Gronk is a monster. He runs 0 miles an hour and somehow gets 40 yards downfield, just trucking people.
Who do you put Jalen Ramsey on? Gronk or Mike Evans?
Evans.
Okay. Gronk's gonna run over everything.
I think that what you're gonna see with Tampa Bay is basically Tom reintroducing that New England offense. Short
and
quick.
Yeah, he was
what you have
earlier this year
in the Rams is the New York Giants defense where they only need to rush 4 to beat that nigga. They only need to rush 4 to beat his ass.
I'm impressed.
They only need to rush 4. Hey, we're gonna put Jalen. He gonna shut Mike down. We send him 4 every time, and Gronk gonna have to beat us. We might double. We might send some help his way. But hey, we're gonna play man coverage on this side of the field against Evans, and we playing zone against everywhere where Gronk going, and we gonna send 4. And what you gonna do?
Nothing.
Keyshawn Vaughn.
Huh?
Watch it. Keyshawn. It's my man.
Scotty Miller. You gotta have 10 catches this game.
I think that's what it's going to be. But I also know I can totally see in the first quarter that Tom angrily taking off the chin strap and walking to the sidelines a few times in this game. It's absolutely going to happen. But I just think at the end of the day, I like this Tampa Bay team, and I don't pick against Tom Brady. And I think that us not seeing them beat the everlasting shit out of Philadelphia is just it's changing a little bit of what it is we actually think about this team.
But also remember in the Eagles game, 2 of their top linemen got hurt.
Yes, they lost.
It's Wirfs and Jensen, right? So Aaron Donald's gonna have a fucking field day.
Yes, that's what I'm like. Yo, they got enough injuries to where it's like, hey, Rams should win this game. If they lose, they should.
Most of the shit that we thought would like uplift Tampa Bay is not there anymore. Besides Brady,
we'll see Monday morning.
I'm just saying they should kick the tires on this Antonio Brown fella.
No, he kicked rocks.
Let's talk about the only game
that'll be Bills and Chiefs.
Game that'll be a blowout.
So Bills and Chiefs right now. I have the Bills. Ryan has the Bills. Keem, you have the Chiefs. KDot, who you got?
Kansas City, baby.
Okay.
All right. I think it will be a blowout, though. Is Ryan frozen?
Yeah, his internet's all unstable.
You were doing this.
Ooh.
Go ahead. Hurry.
All right. So.
Yeah.
Shit. Fam,
I can still
no, he's still here. He's still here. Keem's being a dick.
Just stop laughing and go.
So this is going to be a game. It's the number 1 pass defense in the league against a very, very good passing off. If they can run, it's going to be a very close game. If they can't, Josh Allen is going to do what Josh Allen does. I think we win by like 10. The Chiefs just aren't the same team, and they did roll last week against a shit team. So I'm taking down. The Bills are just put together all around defense, offense. I just don't think the Chiefs defense can stop.
There were some points in there we can make out. Cool.
Oh, really? God damn it.
Oh, now you sound perfect.
You sound great when you curse.
Bills better than Chiefs. Done.
Like I literally heard like every third word the Bills offense and the Patriots run.
That's basically what I said.
Okay, Keem, why do you think the Chiefs are going to win?
I think the Chiefs are going to blow their ass out because they got a sour taste in the mouth after Buffalo beat that ass in the regular season. And I just also think the Chiefs are better. But I think hopefully it'll be a good game, but I don't think it will be.
Okay. KDot, what about you?
Josh Allen's been up and down. After a perfect game he's got to go down. Like that's like he played a
regression to the mean, baby.
He threw. This is how I know that like quarterback rating stupid. He threw a 1-yard touchdown and his rating went down. Which was just like, what the fuck is with this stupid fucking thing? But it's just
Ryan, I'm not reading that.
Kansas City to me have the playoff pedigree. Patrick Mahomes, I think, is ready for prime time. And you're right. Andy Reid's looking at that game from earlier in the season being like, it ain't fucking happening again. And we're playing here in Arrowhead with the fucking Kansas City fans, which, look, I get Buffalo. They're crazy. They do good things, whatever. Arrowhead's a beast. Arrowhead's one of those stadiums that you look and you say, fuck, if Josh Allen's got to get the offense together and everything, it's going to be too goddamn loud. I do think the Chiefs, I'm getting this inkling the Chiefs are going to blow them out. But I don't want to go that far because if I'm wrong, I'm going to look stupid. So I'm just going to say the Chiefs win. And my Super Bowl prediction maintains.
I have a question. KDot, who's the best coach in the league?
Bill Belichick still.
And what happened last week?
They got destroyed, but the talent level was a little different.
That's fair. That's fair.
Matt Jones, rookie quarterback. Patrick Mahomes. Can anyone name 2 receivers in New England?
They have Kendrick Bourne.
That's worthy of being named.
The Bourne identity.
Well, Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith.
Right, the tight ends. And guess who all raised their tight end? Travis Kelce, sir. I'm just saying that, there's no comparison. There's what New England was, which was, all right. Oh, that's the thing with New England is that, you can clearly.
I just don't think the Chiefs are going to perform the way they should be. We all know they're fucking great. We all know they're fucking great, but they have so many times throughout this year, last year, whenever, where they didn't step up in the moment that they had to, and everybody was like, "What the fuck is wrong with the Chiefs?" We said the same shit this year until they played us and they beat our ass.
No, but here's the thing. That's the thing. Kansas City is one of those teams that they've set expectations so high for them that if you don't see them winning and scoring 42 points a game, people think something's broken. Nothing's been broken in Kansas City since week 5. So they've been running on all fucking cylinders. Whereas the New England thing, once again, I go back to the only reason I picked them was Bill Belichick. They fucking sucked since basically the week after Thanksgiving. New England has been on the fastest downward roller coaster, maybe in the league, beyond the game they had against Buffalo where they ran the ball 70 times, right? I just think Buffalo. I think also Buffalo playing such a cupcake team might hurt them in the sense of when they actually have to play a real football team. It's just I think there's a certain aspect to that where it's oh, that's what happens when you play a quarterback and throw a football.
Yeah, we're still the number 1 pass defense. Bills by 10.
Number 1.
When it happens, I'm gonna be like, hey, remember when I said Bills by 10?
Yeah, number 1 pass.
It can't actually be 10. So I don't think we're gonna punt because we haven't punted 3 weeks. So it's got to be 14.
Played the Jets and the Falcons.
I'm gonna be in the chat now. Keep talking. I'm gonna be in the chat now.
You played the Jets and the Falcons. I'm just saying. This is what I'm actually looking at. When's the last time Buffalo played a competent football team?
Last week.
Look, I get it. It's Bill. It hates me to say it. The team fucking blows. Okay? They fucking suck. They really are bad. They're a really bad team.
They're not bad.
They're a bad team, James. Look at their schedule and look at what happened over the course of the season. They're really bad.
Okay, so, yeah. Hold on. All right, hold on. If we're not counting the Patriots, I'm just going to give you the schedule. Obviously, they played the Patriots last week. They played the Jets before that, the Falcons before that, the Patriots again, the Panthers. They played the Buccaneers December 12th and lost. They played the Patriots and lost. They played the Saints, blowed them out. Played the Colts, got that ass beat.
Wait, what are you talking about?
The Bills. This is the Bills schedule.
Okay. All right.
And that was Trevor Simeon's, I think, first or second start.
Yeah,
for New Orleans.
We can't.
They beat the Jets. They lost to Trevor Lawrence. And the Jaguars. They beat the Dolphins. They lost to the Titans. They beat the Chiefs.
Can't stop the run.
Yeah, but I'm saying your number one pass defense against who?
The Chiefs are in there, right?
No, I get it. 1 week. I get it. I understand.
That's all that matters right now.
Yo, it's what. And here's the thing: Kansas City threw for 315 and 121 on the ground.
Let me ask you this question, so you can move this on, because we're just like debating some shit that don't matter. Do you think that there's a chance that the Bills win this game?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know if, even though I still think New England is just a dog shit team, what I saw Josh Allen do is made me now realize the ceiling that I thought for him, I don't know anymore. Okay. That's where I'm going at. I don't know Josh Allen's ceiling anymore.
All right, so Josh Allen is the reason.
It's Josh Allen.
Okay.
Yep.
Keem, why do you think the Bills could win this game?
I don't.
Watch out for Mike.
So there's no way that the Bills win this game.
Well, obviously there's a way. I just don't think there's a way. If that makes sense.
Okay, so all right. So
obviously, it's a 50% chance. Like something like hey, they could win the game.
So you give them like an any given Sunday chance.
Yeah, it's a hey, you got to play a team. You can win the game. You put 11 players out of there.
All right.
They're not winning this game. I would bet on this game if anybody want to take money.
You want to bet?
I still haven't received the payment for the previous bet.
Yeah, I'm not betting anymore. They've shut down the lines for me until I pay what I owe.
All right, Ryan.
That's how come I am.
Ryan can't hear me. Ryan took off his fucking headphones. Ryan.
No, that haircut. He looks like a lesbian.
I almost spit it out. I almost spit out my water.
Sick, you piece of shit. I haven't showered.
Ain't no COVID turning into Ellen DeGeneres. Just saying.
Ellen DeGeneres? I'm done with you. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. What do you fucking want?
Ryan, all right. Tell me why you think it's possible for the Chiefs to win. I know you think the Bills are going to win. You believe it. But why do you think the Chiefs could win?
The same reason I think the Bills could win. It's going to be turnovers. If the reason the Chiefs lose is they turn the ball over. Not because they get really stopped on offense. They stop themselves. If Josh Allen throws 3 picks, Chiefs are going to win.
Which is likely.
If Mahomes throws a pick and fumble, which they seem to have a fumble every fucking game at this point, the Bills are going to win. I mean, our safeties, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, have some of the most ridiculous closing speed in the game. And if Mahomes thinks he has a guy open, Tyreek Hill's real fast, but Micah Hyde's real fast. So if we can get some turnovers because it looks like people are open, I think we can win the game. That's it.
Can I put one thing in perspective? We're talking about Josh Allen like ascending, right? Patrick Mahomes still has better stats across the board. It's like he threw for 400 more yards. He's got more. Like, I'm just saying, there are levels to this shit.
He's got more rushing yards.
No, probably not that, but that's
because Josh Allen's the only player with the amount of passing and rushing yards that he has.
I'm trying to look at how many rushing yards did he have.
It's fine.
You guys are shit ton.
Yeah, 763. Nope, not taking that away from him. Get that. Totally understood. Nope, sorry. Point rescinded.
Is that the most rushing yards by any quarterback in the league?
Point rescinded, sir.
I think that's only because Lamar got hurt.
Oh, yeah, we know
that. But we know. Fair. Like
Josh Allen is white Cam. Josh Allen is white Cam Newton with a little less talent, athletical talent.
Athletic. All right, I'm done with this conversation with
athletic.
You,
okay,
athletic.
All right, now final thoughts.
Athletical.
Who wants to go first?
I'm a stupid fuck.
I'm sick as a dog. I can't see straight. I'm nervous, but it's the first year. Like, the Bills looked super last week, and I hope they look super again this week. I love football. Also, don't sleep on the UFC fight this week. 2 of the heaviest hitting people on the planet. First of all, Francis Ngannou holds the world record for the highest or the strongest recorded punch of all time. He's fighting this weekend for the heavyweight belt in the UFC. That shit's going to be fire. Absolute fire.
Fair enough. Who's next?
Cyril and Francis. Ooh, a lot of punching.
Who's next?
Squid Game's the shit. Train to Busan was awesome. South Korean cinema for life.
Dude, Train to Busan is one of my favorite movies.
That's the one you told me to look at. Okay.
You didn't like Squid Game?
No, I love Squid Game. Squid Game.
Did.
No, all right. I want to spoil Squid Game because there's something I really want to discuss.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
No, it's train to what?
Busan.
Do not listen to the English fucking dub. That's my final thought. Hang on.
Never.
If you listen to an English dub thing, when the option is to listen to the original language and subtitles, you're a fucking idiot. You probably voted for Trump, and you should get fucking castrated so you can't procreate. Fuck off.
They probably just never watched anime. So you should watch
what if someone can't see?
I'm gonna go.
Unless you're blind or with a learning disability. Those are the exceptions.
What if you're dyslexic, you piece of shit?
I said learning disability. I covered it. Okay? Now for everybody else, fuck off.
I completely disagree with KDot's point about dub versus sub, but that's beyond the point. Josh Allen had 763 rushing yards this season in 17 games. Lamar had 767. So quit fucking lying. Quit fucking lying. He didn't even finish with more fucking rushing than my fucking guy.
Wait.
Shut that shit down. Shut that shit down.
How many passing yards did Lamar have?
I don't want to hear it.
How many passing yards did Lamar have?
I don't want to hear it.
How many passing yards?
It doesn't matter.
No, why don't you look that up?
It doesn't matter.
How many passing touchdowns?
My other point is that the Moon Knight trailer looks good.
Shit,
I'm excited to see what's going to happen with Moon Knight. Oscar Isaac is great. We got Ethan Hawke. Like, that's a good cast. I can't wait to see what they do, what Marvel does with Moon Knight. March is going to be a fucking fun month because the Batman comes out earlier in the month, and they just announced like that the runtime is going to be 2 hours and 55 minutes. That's long as shit, but I'm going to watch it regardless. So,
yeah. All right. My final thought is simple. Happy anniversary, baby.
You don't say.
1 year down.
You don't say.
Yeah. 1 year down, many more to go.
Congratulations. Look, Jackson had 2,800 passing yards. Josh Allen had 4,400.
You're not letting this shit go.
You mean like 5 games to get 1,600 more yards? That's crazy.
He also had 36 touchdowns versus 16. Oh, and more rushing touchdowns. So
I was just looking at something. One last thing about the Chiefs-Bills game. Do we think since last year, January, when they played, that things are that much different between these two teams?
I think the defense for the Bills is better, and I think
they lost their corner though.
And the offense for the Chiefs has been a little bit more inconsistent in terms of turning the ball over.
Wait, you said they did what?
In the playoffs last year, right?
No, I'm talking about Keem.
Well, the Bills lost their more in corner, right? Like he's been out since
like weeks.
Right. And so like I would have said last year that they were at full power, right? I think. And this year I would say because they lost him, they kind of lost something. But technically Josh Allen's better last year.
And Devin, dude, I keep calling him.
Last year you mean like 2021 rather than
Yeah. I'm talking about the last play. Like I'm looking at this, I'm like, could this same score happen?
We have a tight end this year, which has changed everything for us. Having Knox available who can block.
I mean, Knox had a touchdown that game I'm talking about.
Right. Now he is he has the most end touchdowns, I think.
Didn't hear anything you said, bro.
Yeah, bro, you're gone.
He can catch touchdowns now more often.
Okay. I think robot voice works.
Okay. Yeah, I think it could be the same score, but I hope it's not.
Okay. Well, I mean, you hope it's worse or what?
Bills by 14.
He thinks he hopes it's for flips.
Oh,
Kansas City beat the Bills.
You're talking about the playoffs.
Playoffs,
okay.
yeah.
I'm gonna go sleep now.
All right. James was angry the whole episode. If you didn't know, now you know because I told you. Because I did it. I still use my VR because it's actually kind of dope. Like look, all I know is laying in bed watching a movie I want to watch, and you can do like the big screen, like you're in a fucking theater, is actually pretty dope. I just wish the resolution was higher, and that's what they're tackling with this one.
The titties look all granular.
Yeah.
Oh, are you asking about porn? Yes, I have absolutely done VR porn.
But does the titty look granular? Because the
resolution is weird. High enough. So the thing is, with the VR thing, you can't manipulate your movement in the room. So it's just like it's like the video that I pulled up. It was 2 chicks and a dude, and it's like depending on where you're at, you're just kind of, God damn it, I can't. You're just like, why's the camera there? It's just like then you look behind you, and there's a giant cock in your face. Like, oh shit.
Please put this at the beginning of the pod.
You need some tweak.
It would be great if somebody other than this fucker was an editor, but he's not going to do it.
I'm not. There's no shame in my porn game. I have no shame there.
Hey man,
so you gonna put it in front of the video?
I'm extremely sexually open. That's the one topic I'm probably more open about than anything else.
Sometimes you turn around and there's a cock in your face you weren't expecting. Who amongst us? You know, who amongst us?
Yeah, I told you my most embarrassing porn purchase. I think I've told you guys this. There's no chance I haven't told you guys.
Tell it again. Tell it again.
I'd like it.
So I'll set the scene. This is back in 07, 08. I'm just out of high school. And I started going to community college. I was going to Montgomery Community College, and I was on financial aid. When I was on financial aid, I got a private loan to pay for my education. But the thing was with the financial aid, they took like the entire fucking school year to figure out how much it is I was going to owe. Halfway through the school year, they told me, hey, not only do you not owe anything, the government owes you money to go to school. So I was like, I guess I got free money. So then I blew the fucking loan on just dumb shit. One of the things that I bought on doing dumb shit was a Girls Gone Wild Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah.
So I spent $36.99 on a fucking Girls Gone Wild Blu-ray. And I was like, because I just got my PS3. Like, I'm like, oh, shit. This is about to be like, I'm high definition porno. Like, this shit. Also, my setup at home was like sick. I had like 3 TVs.
Is this why you wanted to buy my old PS3?
No, but I did think about creating a chain of PS3s to mine Bitcoin. But whatever. I can't pay for that much electricity. But or just computing algorithm, whatever. I bought this DVD. It took like 3 weeks for it to get in. They threw in like 2 DVDs to go with it. And I'm like, this is the shit. I fired up on the big screen. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do a quick run through. It's a dry run through. So no actual jerking, just a dry run through. Let's see what we're dealing with. I got to queue up the scenes. You know what I'm talking about? When you're on X videos or XNXX and you're like, look, I can't bust on this scene. I got to make sure it's worthwhile. Right. So I'm fine.
Plus 30 seconds. Plus 30 seconds.
The Blu-ray opens up and it's like fucking aerial shots to like the coastline of Florida. It's in like perfect high def. I'm like, yo, this is about to be everything. They go down the boardwalk to show on the beach, the girls in the bikinis and everything. Then all of a sudden, transition. Fucking letterbox, small as shit for the chick in the room taking her top off. I'm like, hold on, what? It's like going to watch an IMAX movie and every scene you want to see. It's fucking tiny as shit. It's just a B-roll of fucking high def. It made me so angry. But then on top of that, what I didn't know is that when you buy the first Girls Gone Wild Blu-ray, they sign you up on a monthly membership. I was just getting Blu-rays sent to my house. It was like $60 a month.
Oh my God.
It was fucking insane. So I still have, because I'm not getting rid of them, and they are proudly displayed next to Heat and Road to Perdition, my fucking Girls Gone Wild Blu-rays.
We're proud of you. My buddy was digging through.
Are we not?
No, I know you're just gonna not let him say like that they're next to Heat and Road to Perdition and be like, okay, fine.
They're legit.
First of all, if you're gonna categorize them, put them next to Wild Things or some shit, or put them next to fucking movie with
it was gonna be cruel. It was gonna be Cruel Intention to Wild Things. Is what I was going. And there's another one. The one with James Vanderbeek and Shannon Sossaman, same writer that did Cruel Intentions. God damn it, I forget the movie, but Italian? Yeah, I know where it's going to go. I also have Basic Instinct. Like, it just makes sense on that end of the spectrum.
I mean, it should be with Basic Instinct. Like,
yeah, I get it.
That was a wild shot.
My Blu-rays and DVDs are not properly organized right now. They're just kind of on a shelf.
Your Basic Instinct was to get Girls Gone Wild, and that's not good.
I always wondered like what the DVDs would be like. Cause you wake up at 3 a.m, you're like, oh, time to catch a good Girls Going Wild commercial. Yeah. And then you watch it and it's just like, what the fuck? Like,
lame shit.
Like, do people buy this shit? And then it's like, they do. And now I wonder what happens on it. And now I know.
Don't follow me.
The commercials were all you needed.